Okay, so Camp 7 Rivers is going on behind me, so hopefully this door being closed will knock out a little bit of that sound. All right, so by the time you come in here, this machine, which is the coffee pot, should be on. If it's not, then there's a power switch back here. Hopefully I can maybe get that. Maybe not. But there's a power switch back here. And then you would hit this power button would be off, and you'd hit those power buttons, and then so these lights, this represents a half of a pot, this represents a full pot. So before you brew, you want to make sure on Sunday you're going to be brewing a full pot. So those are both full. And then basically once this reaches 199 degrees, it would be ready to brew, and you can just hit brew A, at which point it will just brew right into these. These have like a locking mechanism. I won't show you on those, but so this little latch here is like a safety mechanism so the lid can't come off and somebody can get scolded. So you have to flip that to take this whole thing out, but you can brew with this thing open and it just goes right in there. And this is an indicator. This will tell you, this is an indicator here. This will tell you how much coffee is in the pot. I think it has 5 lines when it's completely full, and then it will go down. So you can kind of read it when you need to make another pot. And so making a pot's really easy. You take one of these. It's obviously just like at home, just bigger. I usually go 2 scoops. This says 2.5, but it does overflow, and then you get grinds in the coffee. So I've been doing 2 level scoops of the brew, dark roast, light roast, decaf. I do a full pot of each one of them. It was a gallon of coffee. And so then you would put that back in here, and then this isn't set up correctly. So you put this back in here. It has a locking mechanism, so once you hit start, but this would be situated correctly and flipped over so that it can brew right in that bowl. All of the items that you would need. These are the creamer carafes. We have creamer in the fridge here. We have the almond creamer. This will be mixed in with this coffee to make the cold brew. You'll just pour that in. There'll be gallons of lemonade in here that you can then just pour into the other carafe. These are the sweeteners that we put out next to the coffee. These are the jugs for the cold brew and for the lemonade and for the ice water. We used to use this, but the center broke that we feed the fruit into. And so now what I've done is I've gotten cold brew bags, and I put the fruit inside of those. And so you just take one of these bags, put it at the bottom of one of these, fill with ice, fill with water, and then you have fruit infused water. And it's easier to clean up because it stays inside the bag. What else would you need to know? Sugar, if you need to refill sugar, is in there. Making cookies. So we put out a tray of cookies every weekend. Why is this not? Okay, that would probably be way better the whole time if I had that view. So we take a brown paper. Cookies are going to be in here. So that's the oatmeal cookies and the sandwich cream cookies. You just put a bunch of cookies on here and put that out. There's also baskets up there. It's up to your wife's aesthetic pleasure, whatever she thinks, however it would look nice. This will be in here. This is where you put the hot cups. So now I'll move out to here because that basically covers everything out there. There's 2 light switches right here for this. These are the bases for those, for the cold brew and for the lemonade and for the fruit infused water. You put them on these. And so they're in that cabinet there. This goes out here. 3 of them there: water, lemonade, cold brew. And then there's little drip catches in here. So these are the drip catches for each one of those. You just put this out there underneath the spout so it'll catch whatever drips. These are for the coffee. So after you're done brewing the coffee, these are the 3 stands: one for decaf, one for dark, one for light. It doesn't obviously matter which one you pick for which. But then this slides right in here, and then this is a drip catch for the coffee. So after first service, say this fills up because somebody spilt, we just change it out and put a new one in there. And then this snaps right onto here. And that's how it sits out there. The way to get this detached is, I don't know that I'll be able to do it with one hand while filming, but you pinch this and lift this at the same time, and you can lift it off to put another one on. So that's that. That's how that works. Other jugs are down here. Coffee, if we ever run out there, is here. Before first service, we put out mints. Here are the 3-pound bags of mints and the 2 bowls. People will be upset if you don't put out the mints. Mints, coffees, and cookies are the 3 big ones that everybody really harps on you about. The sugars and the tea bags, those can go out. Those usually go out over here. And then as far as the hot water for the tea, I mean, we have maybe a half a dozen tea drinkers in our congregation, and they don't always drink tea. So I take one of these. This you just put in this way, and then you can close this. Again, it opens up like that, but this is the spout, and then you pump it to get hot water out. I fill one of these just with hot water over here, and then I just pour it into here and put it out where the tea is. And that usually suffices for people looking to have tea. And so all that tea setup, they usually set up over here on this right side. They'll put the tea, a couple of things of sugar, honey, and then the hot water and a couple of cups. But again, it's seldom visited. It's more for just maybe aesthetic value. Underneath here, half and half, and almond milk. And there's also stirrers underneath there, so you'll need those to come out. Some of the napkins. One of the things that people often forget is the little garbage that goes out here. So usually after I've done set up everything, I make myself a coffee so that I see like, oh, what am I missing? These little trash bins for the stir sticks and anything else. And what else? What else do we need to know? This is where all the cups are. They're right under where it will go. Here, the tops are down there. This is not a short video, and these are the wood stirrers there. What else? You probably know everything over here. That's if we have to close the cafe, the signs, seasonal stuff, and then we have the lanterns and the security walkie-talkies. Mints go out over here, one here, one here. I have a picture of the cafe setup that I will send you. And I think that's it. We got first aid kit in here, gloves for putting the cookies out, Ziploc bags for if there's cookies left over. We just dump everything out, rinse it out. We have a wand here that you can wash with, and then I have a vinegar spray that I usually vinegar spray everything just because it doesn't hurt anything and it kind of sanitizes it. And that's it. I'm not going to ramble on too much. We got the syrups up there if you end up needing those for extra. Some more baskets up there. But other than that, like I said, cookies are underneath there. I think I got it covered. It's pretty quick for a rundown. So I hope this video suits you well. If you have any questions, I'm gonna have my phone. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, I appreciate you so much.